Welcome to our real estate podcast where we spill all the tea in realty. I'm Melissa Bailey and this is my co-host, Athena Woods. Join us each week where we blind respond to situations that are going on in real estate and tell you how we'd handle them in our business.
On butterfly teacup today, I've got just simple black tea with honey and lemon. Did you know that honey loses its antibacterial properties when we heat it up?
I didn't know that, and I have been a big proponent of the raw local honey is the best medicine. Oh my gosh. Okay, well now I'm not going to be...
It's better if you just eat it by the spoonful. Don't put it in your tea. I just read an article that said that. We've all been doing it wrong.
Okay, well, this is earth-shattering for me.
I know, right? Okay, so what kind of tea do you have today?
Well, today I am actually drinking a rose milk tea. I got it at my favorite Korean store. Yeah, that's my girl.
I love that.
RBG all day.
RBG's the best.
Bless her heart.
So what are we talking about today?
So today is a little different. So I'm going to be doing more of a realtor Q&A. So Some of these are going to be actually just questions that people had posed on the internet, and we're going to get our take on them. So I just thought it was a little bit neat to start off with some questions.
Cool.
So our first question is going to be from Reddit Realtors group. It says, "Finally a realtor. What do you wish you would have known your first year?"
But you may not sell any houses.
So what they actually said was, the title says it all. Finally became a realtor, working a part-time job as well until things start to get pretty well with real estate. I am very good with people, and I have a pretty decent network already. However, I am curious what you guys would tell your younger selves and what you would do differently if you could go back in time. Do open houses work? YouTube, TikTok, Instagram? I need all the help and tips I can get. I need to become a top agent in my broker as quickly as possible.
There is no such thing as overnight success, kiddo. And open houses are your best bet to get clients immediately. My first year, I sold one house to a friend. My second year, I was going to all the things. I was starting the social media, doing everything they tell you to do, and not getting any business. So I linked up with an agent in my brokerage that had a lot of listings, and I started sitting open houses for her. Once I got one client, I got two clients. Once I got two clients, I got three clients. And those open house leads rolled for me. Were there days that I sat in an open house when nobody came? Absolutely. Take that time to build your business plan and write out what you want your future to look like, because unless you're in front of people that actually are ready, willing, and able to buy, social media and everything else is not going to do you any good. You're just going to be a fish in a school in the middle of the ocean and doing what everybody else is doing.
Brilliant.
It's not brilliant. It's just reality. A lot of people think, I'm going to get into real estate. I'm going to make a lot of money. The fact of the matter is that the average agent only does 4 deals a month. So if you want to be a top agent, you've got to get in front of as many people as possible, take every lead possible. And if you're open to it, join a team, because they have the lead sources, and that's going to get you in front of more people who are ready to qualify to purchase a home.
There it is. I obviously cannot speak on
Well, Athena, tell them from the other side of it, from the transaction coordinator position, because you came to work with me immediately and I'm already an established agent, and I fed you deals and transactions that were going to get you experience immediately. What were you seeing in the groups of people saying, hey, I have my license and I haven't done a deal yet?
Well, I definitely am still in groups for new realtors, for new licensees, and a lot of them do post regularly that they're stressed because they have no deals. They're not getting help. Their brokerage isn't setting them up with someone who's experienced, so they're, floating and ready to quit, ready to give up. I think that what I chose to do with my license was the smartest thing for me. And I think that it is a great path for some people who, want to get elbows deep into the business and understand everything. That way, I look at myself as now I'm a Jedi Master almost of the contract, because I am submerged in the business end of the deal. So I see all of the papers. I see all of the stuff that's going on in the background, all the wheels that are turning constantly. So it's going to make me a better agent down the line when I'm ready.
And I was throwing things at you that I knew that were going to give you experience, that if you're not working with a seasoned or well-established agent when you get started, that you're not going to get to experience for years. You've probably done as many transactions in 6 or 8 months than some people do in a year.
Right. No, definitely. 100%. And I mean, now I've seen the land. I've seen the 1031 exchange. I've seen all of these one-off situations, and I'm super grateful for that education that I received. So, I mean, obviously, that's why I stick around and I will follow you. Yeah.
Well, I try to keep you as busy as possible. And we are growing our team. So if you are an agent and you're looking for mentorship or help, we can give you the blueprint of how we do it over here and show you what it takes to be successful. And, it's not easy. You're answering phone calls on the weekends. I've written offers on vacation. We're constantly in communication with our clients to make those deals come through. And it's not all bright and shiny. Everybody thinks, oh, it's going to be so great and I'm going to get to go on vacation all the time and things like that. Yeah, that's true. It may happen, but you might be leaving the pool vacation side to get into a business center and have them open up a computer and write an offer for your client so you can get a deal done. So I just want you guys to be aware of what the backside looks like, and don't quit your day job. If you need income, do not quit your day job until you have enough income to subsidize yourself from real estate. That is the worst thing that you can do. And there are teams and people that can work around it. A lot of them want you to be full-time, but as long as you're flexible and you'll get out there and go after work or on weekends, that's going to be the most important thing, showing up for those clients and get those deals done. Because then we can help you on the back end with the office staff like Athena.
Definitely. And being licensed there helps me with that as well. So
for sure,
I'm able to
do
help
all the things.
All of the things. And we sell all of the houses. All right. So now this second question that I found, you might laugh when you hear this.
Probably.
But all right. So, how low of an offer is too insulting? I'm curious to hear what realtors think about this potential offer. House has been sitting on the market for almost 100 days. at $135K. This is definitely not in Arizona.
No.
House definitely needs updating and a new driveway based on pictures. My budget is $100,000. Is it too outlandish to tell my realtor that I'm interested in seeing this house, but because it has been sitting, I wouldn't offer more than $100,000?
Go see the house. The worst they can say is no, especially if it's been on the market for 100 days. And the worst thing that you can do is try to negotiate repairs up front. There's an inspection period and time for that. So you may end up getting additional credits. Make sure you're working closely with your lender and your agent and that they're communicating and talking with each other so that you can put your best offer forward. And you always want to put it in writing, because until the seller sees it, it's not in their head. Like if you're doing it verbally, agent to agent, it doesn't come through. I don't think there's any such thing as an insulting offer. I don't think it exists. And you have to go based on the comps for the area. So have your agent pull the comps and see if 100 is valid or if it truly is too low for the home.
There it is. I thought it was funny because obviously I've heard people say that, oh, the sellers were insulted by your offer. It was absolutely insulting to them.
We just had one, right?
We did. Yeah. And I just don't think that anybody has truly the right to be insulted by someone offering them money.
Right. At the end of the day, buying a home is such an intimate thing, right? There's so many parts. It's your house. It's where you're going to live. There's just a lot of stuff going on. But ultimately, it is the biggest business transaction that you will be a part of in your life. So if a seller says they're insulted, so what? Boo-hoo. Do you want to entertain our offer or not?
Just say yes or no. Or, I mean, obviously, we also have the option of just ignoring. So no answer is an answer.
No response is a response.
I remember you telling me that.
No response is a response. I think that's hard for a lot of us to grasp. We just had one this week. We put out a low offer. It was $40,000 lower than the list price. And they said, we're not going to move and we're not going to respond to your offer. So it happens. Mm-hmm. But if you don't ask, how do you know?
Absolutely. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and like I said that right. Okay, just making sure.
You said it right. Yeah.
Okay. I'm telling you, my brain, man, my brain. So there's like a ton of questions that are out there about all kinds of random, weird questions that people have for realtors. Like they want realtors to answer these questions, and I figured, what the hey? We'll just see what you got to say about these. All right. So our next question is, how do leads from team work? I was under the impression that you go through training, then you work the leads when you join a team. Now I feel like that you have to be one of the team lead's favorite in order to be put on a Zillow call or other lead sources. I had to ask my team leader what his expectations are because it wasn't set. I have been on the team for 3 months and closed a transaction within my first 45 days from my own sphere. But I've only had 2 leads ever since then, and I've been sourcing my own deals. Now I'm trying to build rapport, get more face-to-face meetings, and trying to work it with the team lead to get on some of these lead gen platforms. I'm just curious if this is how it goes.
Well, every team is different, and you do have to earn your way up. Zillow is like one of the premier lead sources, right? So not everyone is qualified even if you've closed one deal, to receive a Zillow lead. Most Zillow buyers will convert in a shorter amount of time. They're ready to go. So you either need to be working closely with a mentor that can help guide you through those transactions, or doing open houses, your own lead gen, talking to your team lead about how they allocate those leads. Because if you're not converting a certain amount of leads, Zillow does not allow you to stay on their platform.
So basically, the moral of the story is prove yourself, you get more.
Yes.
More conversions equal more leads.
Right.
That makes
And
sense.
it's hard work converting Zillow leads. Once I qualified for them, I had to have momentum. The open house story that I shared with you guys earlier. So I'm doing my own sphere. I'm getting my own deals. I've got all this momentum. Well, now I have 5 closings under my belt. I'm going to be a lot more likely with any team to get more of their lead sources once I've shown that I can convert and sell.
All right, and this is going to be our last one. So I figured 4 questions. This one is actually from a client's perspective. So A client is asking this question, and it says, am I, buyer, still under contract? Hello, hoping to get some advice as my realtor is avoiding my question. I saw a house, liked it, made an offer. Offer was accepted 3 weeks ago. I sent my earnest money over and had an inspection. I was supposed to close last week, but an issue came up on the seller's end and we didn't close. The seller never gave us an extension date and paperwork to sign, and I'm not sure when we're set to close. If I wanted to back out, could I get my earnest money back? Are we still under contract?
Well, you're still under contract because nobody's canceled. And unless they issued a cure notice, which is what you should have done if the seller didn't ask you for an extension, and depending on what state you're in, cure notices are different. I would reach out to title to see if you're still under contract. And it depends on what the rules of your state are. Here in Arizona, you're still technically under contract, even if it's past closing date, and we need to establish what that new timeline is going to be and see if we can resolve the issue that the seller's having so that they can close.
Right. Yeah, I was going to say the resounding answers, the responses from the realtors in this group said, your agent should send them a notice to perform or a cure notice. Do you have an attorney on this transaction?
Depends on what state you're in. And just so you guys understand too, there's 2 different types of escrows in the United States. You have attorney states that the attorneys process the transaction and facilitate the sale. And then you have escrow states. And escrow states, the agents and title facilitate the transaction. So it just depends on what state this person is in.
Right. And yeah, I was going to say, someone said there might be a different process. For example, in Arizona, you cure the party who didn't perform, and that gives them 3 days to correct. If they don't, you can cancel the contract, which we just stated.
And you would get your money back for non-performance because they're in breach of contract at that point.
Right. So, I mean, essentially, I don't understand why the agent isn't responding to them.
Yeah. But there are other parties to the transaction that person can reach out to if they're not able to get a straight answer from the agent. And if it's a newer agent, they might not know, and they might be afraid to ask. So you can always reach out to their broker.
Yep, that was actually another one of the ones that it said on there. Reach out to their broker and ask, hey, what's going on? So that was my 4th question. And
we're all wrapped up for today.
I think we did it.
I think we did it. Yeah, it was great to see you. I like these questions. These were good questions, and hopefully you guys enjoyed hearing us and listening to them, and we're providing value to you because we just want to make the process as easy as possible for you because it is so overwhelming to buy a house with all of the moving parts.
It is. It definitely is. But if anybody out there has any questions or sees anything that they'd like to know more about, we'd love to get any suggestions from you guys. Keep this show interesting for you.
So drop them in the comments and make sure to like and subscribe.
Sounds good. Well, we will see you next time.